Welcome, Taurus and Taurus cross watchers, to your love reading for this week. So we have you over here with the King of Earth, but King of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, and Two of Air. And then your person is the Queen of Fire. So, Taurus, it kind of feels like there's somebody here that's very enigmatic. It feels like it's almost like to a lesser person, they would be kind of so captivating that it's like if this person walked in a room, people would stop what they're doing and look, and like, or their jaws would fall open, or like, or something like that. It feels like that type of an energy. But what's interesting is that that's not really the case with you. Like, you might kind of take notice of this person, but I don't feel like you have that same energy. I feel like that's, it feels like you're on, for, let's say, for example, it may not be the actual situation, but like, let's say you're on a certain career path, or you're trying to accomplish something in a area of your life unrelated to love. And it feels like it's like you are really making some progress, and it feels like you're kind of almost there and things are almost coming together. But there's this other person here that is very distracting to you. It feels like this person is someone that, it does feel, I was initially feeling that there might be a bit of an age difference between you here. But if there's, and it actually feels like you may feel more world weary, if that's even a word. It feels like you may be a bit more weary of, kind of like worn down by the world because you've been through so much. But you may actually be the person that is a bit younger than this one. It doesn't mean that they haven't been through their fair share of stuff, right? It just feels like they present with a very different energy. They present with an energy that kind of like people are practically like sucked into like orbiting around them. Whereas with you, it's like if people want to get to you, they're going to have to really, they're going to have to work for it. It does feel like this person kind of wants to make a change. I feel like they actually really admire you. You may be shocked by that. You may be looking at it like, really? Not that you're not admirable, but just because this person does have that type of energy about them, you seem to have something that they really want to develop. It's almost like maybe they have a ton of options, because the Queen of Wands energy is someone that's very attractive, very, like, it's, out of all, 78 cards, this person has that energy the most. It's someone that's very powerful, a very powerful ally, someone that will, go out of their way to support and love and fight for the people they care about. But it's definitely not someone that you want as an enemy either, because they have that charismatic way about them. They also, can cut people off at the knees if and when they choose, and it feels like it's nothing to them. But there's something about your energy that I feel like they've been looking for. It's almost like because you don't come off your proverbial throne and kind of like your jaw hits the floor when you see them and stuff like that, I feel like that seems to be what's really attractive to this person, right? They don't want somebody that's going to fawn all over them. They don't want somebody that's going to look at them that way. They want someone that doesn't put them on a pedestal. And like, doesn't mean that they don't want to be valued and all that stuff, but they don't want somebody that's going to, it feels like that's what everybody else does. Everybody else puts this person on a pedestal. Everybody else treats this person differently because of whatever it is. Let's say they are very physically attractive. Other people may put this person up on a pedestal because of that, but they want somebody that doesn't. And they feel like you may have that energy. But it's like, but they're not too sure. It's almost like if they're usually able to get who they want when they want, and they like when they see someone they know, like, that's the one I want. I feel like there's some ambiguity here. It's almost like they're looking at you like, if they want to take their life to the next level, this is the type of relationship that comes with that. And it is what they want, but there's that energy of like, they're not, you know how when you're about to, let's say we're just going to use a couple of decks. We'll do it like that. So your life is here and you want to get up to the next level, but you're going to have to jump to get there. It's that moment when you look down and you're kind of like, okay, do I really want to jump? Can I make it? Before you kind of take that running leap and make the jump. And I feel like that's kind of where this person is at when they kind of look at you. Okay. Hold on for a second here. So we have the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands reversed. Honestly, I feel like both of you are sick and tired of feeling like you have to run the whole show. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's two leader energies. And it feel like, listen, it's not about putting yourself on a level above everybody. Okay. That's not what the cards are saying. It just feels like two people that always feel like they're the person that people like. You and this person, you and this Queen of Wands you're the ones that people come to with their problems. You're the ones that kind of solve things. You're the ones that handle things. Maybe different types of problems and you handle them in different ways, but you guys are the problem solvers. And it's like, yes, you have the mental capacity to solve the problems, but it also is that neither of you are inhibited from acting. Right? If this person, your person, sees a problem and they're like, okay, yeah, this is what needs to happen. It's like, not only can they find the solution, they can make it happen and they're not afraid to do it. And I feel like that's the same with you. And I feel like both of you kind of, I'm hearing that Justin Timberlake, rest your weary heart and relax your mind. It just feels like you seem to be feeling a bit weary of the world and it just is what it is. And I feel like this person wants to take off the mask of feeling like they have to feel like they're so put together. They've got it all together. Everything's fine. They're on top of everything. Sorry about that. So, the cards were talking about how I feel like you guys are both looking to find someone that's like you. You know what I mean? It's like you want someone that is as capable as you are, and so do they. And it's not like either of you want someone else to come in and solve all your problems. You just want somebody that is as capable as you are. And so what the cards are saying just before sorry about that, everyone. So, the cards were saying that it feels like you may have more resources behind you. You seem to have a bit more certainty. It's like maybe you have, or at least it appears that you have more money, more resources, or you're more used to having those resources. You know what I mean? Whereas this person, I feel like they don't have that, or they haven't had that, or having the level of money and security and support that they have now. It's not something that they're used to or that they see as a permanent fixture. It's almost like let's say, for example, they had to kind of build a life completely on their own. Not that you haven't worked hard or whatever, but it just feels like this person may have, it's almost like you're looking at them wondering if they're so independent that they may not even want a partner. I feel like that's how you're looking at it like, you know what I mean? Trying to figure that out. I do feel, I'm going to call you out a little bit, Taurus. I feel like you may be looking at this person kind of making a judgment without actually entirely knowing, which we all do, right? Just as it's human nature. And I feel like that may have been kind of what you thought initially, but I feel like you are taking some time here and looking at this person a little bit closer, right? That's why you're kind of observing them to see what the case is. And I feel like you end up seeing that there's actually something quite a bit deeper to this person. It almost feels like you end up looking at it like, even if there isn't something romantic between the two of you, or if it never kind of gets there, or that isn't what both of you want, or so on and so forth, I feel like this is somebody that I feel like you would want to be allies or friends with. It just feels like it's someone that you would want in your life. It's that type of an energy. What's interesting is I feel like other people know that you're capable, but I feel like a lot of people expect this person to mess up. A lot of people expect them to be like too fiery. I feel like people expect the greatness from you that comes from you. People don't expect it from this person. And it's like, and they have to do it, whatever it is that they're doing, they have to do it with people assuming that they're going to mess up, assuming that they're going to just burn the whole thing to the ground all the time. That's why they don't lean on anybody. That's why they don't look to anybody for support or anything, because people are always convinced that this person is going to lose, convinced that this person's going to fail, convinced that they're going to somehow self-sabotage. And pull a card on it, but it feels like this person, maybe at one point in time they didn't, but I feel like they have too much respect for themselves to do that. I feel like in the past they may have been purposefully sabotaged by people. And that's why that also seems to have contributed to that really independent energy, right? It's like if they kind of had these parts of themselves that they felt they could lean on other people, it's like as other people let them down, it's that energy of like, you find someone you feel you can kind of lean into them, you lean into them a little bit, and then they pull the rug out from underneath you. And you kind of stumble that way and like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to lean that way. And it's like this person tried like leaning different ways and they just kind of were like, oh, forget it. And so now they're just there on their own. And I feel like that may be part of the energy. I feel like that is something that you end up finding actually really magical about this person. What's interesting is I actually feel like you end up seeing this person as somebody that you kind of want to, it's almost like you want to protect them, but not in a like, it feels like you're looking at it that because they've experienced that so often, and I feel like you may have stronger ties to, family and a support system, it's almost like you want to protect them, but I feel like it's almost like they wouldn't accept it even if you tried to. Because that's not what they're about. It's almost like if you were to go in and do something for them or help them with something or whatever, it's almost like you feel like they might be insulted in that you're kind of like telling them that they're incapable of doing it. I feel like you don't know how to act around this person. Not that you're kind of like fumbling and all that sort of stuff. It just feels like this person's such an enigma. They're so different from anybody you've met. I feel like they genuinely confuse you, not in a way that makes you want to turn and run for the hills or anything. It just feels like you can never quite put your finger on what this person's going to do next or how they're going to handle a situation, because things are so, it's like it may seem to the world like they fly by the seat of their pants, so they handle situations like from one to the next. It could be a very similar situation, but they come up with a different solution. It's almost like it would make them want to crawl out of their own skin if they had to do the same thing twice. That may be why people assume that this person's going to mess up. Hold on for a second. They don't care. There's kind of this energy about them, like, take me or leave me. Take it or leave it. And I feel like that the ability to do that seems to be coming from that place of they've had the rug pulled out from underneath them so many times that it's almost like people can't get inside them. You know that saying where it's like, it's not the water outside the boat that sinks it, it's the water that gets inside. There's no water on this ship. So, what can Taurus expect from this person? Oh my God. So we got the Emperor. I feel like this is someone that, we have the Queen of Cups at the bottom. It feels like they're kind of a chameleon. I feel like they're able to kind of like really take on the energy of people around them, almost to kind of like morph into someone that would easily become a part of that crew type deal. I feel like it doesn't feel like it's something that, it just feels like it that energy coming from them answers more questions than it, or like brings more questions than it answers. It feels like the more you observe this person, the more confused, the more kind of like, what is going on? I feel like that there's something under there that, like, there's something there. There's some sort of, let's see if this person will let us. So we have the Knight of Wands. Wow, with the Queen of Wands at the bottom. So that's the Queen of Wands twice here. I feel like this person doesn't feel like people around them respect them. What they're looking for is respect. I feel like this isn't somebody that would like jump into a relationship, or for some of you, this person may not even be willing to consider a relationship. It's more like they would consider becoming allies with someone before they did that. It feels like it's somebody that would, it doesn't feel like it's someone that falls in love. And now, of course, I'm sure that happens to all of us, but I feel like this person doesn't allow themselves to kind of like fall into that energy. I feel like it's somebody that when they love someone, when they really love them, that only comes for them over a period of time of getting to know that person and seeing them and falling. And it's like, and in that, this person only falls in love with people because of who they are, not what they have or what they look like. But I feel like that kind of makes this person almost impermeable, right? It's like they're a real tough nut to crack. It feels like it's kind of like the only way people are getting into this person's life is if they allow it, which of course is but like nobody's going to be able to pull the wool over this person's eyes for sure. And I kind of feel, I'm going to be honest, I feel like this person may not be as open to this as, it's almost like in whatever capacity you want to get to know this person, they're not as open to it as you would normally expect. I feel like they're a little bit more standoffish to new people than you kind of anticipate. It feels like it might be surprising how strong that energy is within them. It's like they let people in to a certain extent, and then it's like, it's just like a brick wall. I feel like you see a certain softness in this person that you know most people don't appreciate. And it feels like it's almost this energy of like, oh, that's a real shame. It's a real shame. It's almost like you're looking at them like it's a real shame that people have treated this person this way and have been so, like, I want to say like flagrant with that really gorgeous part of them. Any advice for Taurus? So we have the Magician, then we have the Hierophant, Three of Wands, and Eight of Cups. I feel like this is someone that you're going to have to play the long game with. It doesn't feel like that's a problem for you. It doesn't feel like that's even, it's almost like it isn't even something that needed to be said. Because I feel like you value that. You know what I mean? In the same way that this person doesn't run into things, neither do you. And for you, that's a certain wisdom that you've developed over the years, but it's like, but that's something people know about you. Whereas like, there's a certain element that because this person lets people in a little bit, people think that they can, you know, kind of get somewhere with this one. People think that they can like get inside this one. They think they can get like on the ship, right? And they can't. And that's why people keep trying to take advantage of this person. Sorry about that. So it kind of looks like there's a little bit of a standoff. And it feels like the two of you seem to come to a place of like mutual respect of each other. But I feel like there ends up being something about this person, about the way that they handle things, that it's like if they don't leave that thing behind, I feel like it ends up being a deal breaker for you. It's almost like if that's something that they could choose to continue to do, I feel like you lose respect for them. And that's what may kind of turn this a different way. So I think I'll leave it there, Taurus. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful and brought you some clarity. If you've made it to the end of the reading, thank you for being here. Of course, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.